If you are watching this video, chances are you're thinking of volunteering as an acolyte at Family of Christ. Before we start though, here are some important things that you should be able to recognize at our church. The large cross above the altar, a smaller cross used in special occasions, the baptismal bowl, the band area, and the altar with candles. All of these things are important to worship on Sundays and help us to connect God to our own lives. Acolytes help the pastors with all the small details of the worship so that the people worshiping can focus on the service. Your job is to keep everything moving smoothly to allow the people there to get the most they can out of the service. Make sure to arrive at least 20 minutes before the start of the service and to talk to one of the pastors to see what you need to do. Make sure that you dress nicely. There is no strict dress code, but you should be looking nice to show that you respect the people there. Go to the Acolyte's closet, located just outside of Pastor Josh's office, and find a robe that fits. The robe should go down to the middle of your shins and should not be too tight. When you find a robe that fits, make sure to tie it correctly. You don't want it falling off during the service. Now that you have your robe on, grab the lighter with the bell on it and a box of matches from on top of the shelf. One of the most important parts of acolyting is learning how to correctly use the lighter. Carefully light the wick with a match. Use the wick to light the candles on the altar, and when you are done, slide the wick back into the tube to extinguish it. It is very important to quickly push the wick back out again so that it does not stick to the inside. It is very difficult to get it unstuck if this does happen, so do your best to prevent it. Now that you know how to use the lighter, you should ask one of the pastors when they want you to light the candles, and which candles to light. Usually they'll want you to light the candles 5 to 10 minutes before the service begins. When you are ready to light the candles, enter from the side door near the kitchen, making sure not to let the flame go out. Something you can do is hold your hand in front of the flame. This should help to keep it lit, but make sure not to burn yourself. Walk up in front of the altar and bow to it to show your respect. Then begin lighting the candles. Start by lighting the tall Easter candle, which is sometimes called the Christ candle. Then light the two smaller candles on either end of the altar. If there are any additional candles, make sure to light those ones as well. Once all of the candles are lit, carefully extinguish the flame and then join in the worship. Make sure to participate, sing, pray, and do anything that you would usually do during the service. Another important part of being an acolyte is serving at communion. Step up to the altar to receive your communion after the Lord's Prayer. If you do not want to drink from the chalice, use a small glass for your communion. After all of the helpers have communed, your new task is to resupply the servers. Do not wait until the trays are completely empty. Watch to see when they are nearly empty and resupply them. On some special days of worship, you will have another job. This job is to bring the smaller cross up to the altar. You should ask the pastor whether to do this or not before the service begins. Pick up the cross from the floor stand and carefully bring it by the shaft. When you place the cross into the stand, make sure it's facing the congregation. When you have the cross secured, come back in front of the altar and bow to the congregation. After the final, go in peace, serve the Lord. Make sure to extinguish the candles on the altar with the bell of the lighter. You should extinguish them in the opposite order of how you lit them. Do not blow out the candles. Make sure to use the bell to extinguish them. Now that you are done, all that you need to do is to return the robe to the closet, making sure to hang it up properly and make sure the closet is all in order. Now that your job as an acolyte is complete, you can leave, knowing that you have done your part in serving the Lord. Hopefully you enjoyed your time as an acolyte and volunteer to do it again.